All right, this is Martin DeBourge with the Throwback Metal Show. My in-studio guests tonight are Resistance. I've got Matt. Matt, say hello.
What's up, everybody?
I've got Paul.
What's going on, everybody?
And I got Burke.
How you doing?
Sweet.
It's like in Burkle.
So I appreciate you guys making the drive up here. Just on that, at the beginning of the show there, right there at the last music break, we're going to listen actually to the whole album, Patents of Control. And the first song on the album is the one we just heard, Inhumanation. Right? Am I saying it right?
Yeah, Inhumanation.
Yes, sir.
Right. Sweet. So here's the thing. I'm just going to come right out and say it, and this is no bullshit. I'm fucking blown away. It's a fantastic album. In my opinion, it's a masterpiece.
Really?
Absolutely.
Holy shit.
Absolutely. A lot of times I do a little homework and I listen to something before the guys show up. But this one I keep spinning, and it's one of those things that grows on you. I mean, you like it right off the bat, but it also grows on you. And the more the little nuggets you get away with, walk away with after listening to it, I'm like, what a fantastic album.
Wow, thanks,
and here's
man.
the thing, and I'm going to leave it up to you. I'm that typical DJ interview guy that does too much talking, and I'm going to try to rein that in. But I just wanted to let you guys know. You told me, Matt, that it was a concept album, and that's cool. But I almost felt like it was musically a concept album, because if you even without the lyrics, which just added to its coolness even more. But when I listened to the album, and musically it seemed like there was a concept going on. Let's talk about the history of metal, because you got some old school stuff in there. You got the double kicks, you got the heavy chugging rhythms, and the riffage. But then you got this song that goes off into some speed thrash kind of stuff, which was amazing. And then you guys show that you can settle down, and which was great. So I'm sure that just what happened by default. I'm assuming anyway. But at some point, the concept idea comes into your mind on, we're going to write a concept album. And I'm going to get into detail with you after each song and before each song, and we'll talk about which one's about what. But tell me how the concept came about.
Well, actually, it just came from some ideas that I had. I really was big into, not really conspiracy theories and stuff like that, but we just finished the album we had before, Lies in Black. And so we were talking about a new album, and I was like, hey, let's do a concept album. That's something, we've never done. It's proved to be way more difficult than I ever thought it was ever going to be. But so they're like, cool, write it. And I'm like, all right, well. So tried to come up with an idea, storyline, which it did. And at that time, I was really researching stuff that was like on a New World Order,
sure.
Knights Templars, Freemasonry, the Illuminati, secret societies. I was really researching and digging into that. So I thought, that'd be a cool part of it.
Cool.
So then from there, you got to kind of, figure out how you're going to come up with this story. So, and then, as I sat down and just started writing things, the ideas just started coming to me. Started trying to develop characters. Once I had characters, then the whole story just kind of flowed.
Right. And we'll get into the details about what each song's about, and I'll direct this next question to Paul. When you talk about a concept, and Matt comes to the band to say, here's my concept idea, and here's something let's write about. I mean, there's got to be a history there. I mean, obviously, when you're in a band, it becomes a brotherhood. But there's got to be a history with the guys to know that when I present this, I'm not gonna meet with some huge, to coin a phrase, resistance.
Yeah, actually, there was a long history with Matt, Dan, and I. Actually, I mean, we've played in bands together since we were probably 15 years old, and we started out playing in a band called Heathen. It was actually before we even knew about the other Heathen, 'cause we were kids. It was a thrash band, and I sang in that band. And
this was in freaking 84, 85.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, and so Matt's always kind of been the lyricist. So, I've always had, I always knew that he could write something good, and he always does.
There was a trust there.
There's a trust, and yeah, exactly. And every time, we would never want to change anything that he put out. He put it out, we're like, fuck, that's perfect, man.
Yeah, right. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. And so you guys had that history. So when did the idea of let's put this band together, Resistance? What year are we talking?
2000.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's actually 15 years this month.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So, and getting back to how you were talking about how the music is a concept of its own, and all the different genres per se that are in there. That goes back to the history of the band too. You have to know our history to know that, because at the core of the band is myself, Dan, and Paul. So we've been friends since high school. We're junior high friends. You know? So we've known each other for years, and that's why we work so good together, is because we've known each other for so long, and we're such good friends. We don't have a problem telling them, no, that part's fucked up. We don't like that. That's not going to happen. That's good.
Go home and practice.
A lot of stuff gets vetoed. Yeah, for sure.
I mean, we constantly joke about the time in this band, the thrash band, and Heathen. Freaking Dan and I had an argument one time when we were kids. At rehearsal over a part or something, and got pretty heated. And then went home that night. My doorbell rings, and opened my door, and there's Dan standing on my front porch in his sweats, saying he's gonna kick my ass.
And here I thought he was gonna apologize.
Yeah. And he's like, he's got his freaking Bruce Lee sweats on and shit, and So, but that's how we are. And like you said, we started out actually before even Heathen started. We started off, in high school, going, hey, we all like freaking metal, we all like this music, Cool. Let's get a band together. Okay, cool. Yeah. You play bass. You're gonna be the drummer. You're gonna be the guitar player. Let's all go out and get instruments. And that's what we did.
We basically learned how to play all at the same time.
Yeah, we all learned at the same time.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, Burke, at what point were you asked to join the band?
Roughly about 4 years ago.
Yeah.
I was living in Texas, and I moved back to California. Moved back to Pomona, and a good friend of mine, Kris Cronkite, is just like, you need to be playing metal again. Oh. So he turned me on to Resistance, and I gave them an EP that I was working on by myself, and they happened to like it, and fortunately I've been here ever since.
Did that EP ever come out?
No, I've been working with the Resistance thing. I think it'd be kind of rude to do my own thing and be in this band at the same time.
Oh, I see. So. Well, what did you do before?
A lot of drinking.
Musically.
Speaking of which, let me.
He was in a Hendrix cover band. He sent us this video of him wearing this big pink boa. And
I was. Nice. I had moved out of California to try some different things to really get out of metal.
Mr. Morris.
And I tried Jimi Hendrix. Really opened my mind up to different kinds of music, slower beats. And I was loving it. And then I got back into metal with Resistance, and I've got a good band. A lot of power.
Sure.
A great melody. We've got a scorching vocalist.
Absolutely.
So I'm just glad to be a part of it.
Awesome. Well, we're gonna talk about that a little bit, but and the next song I'm gonna play is actually the next song on the album, which is "End of Today." So tie Inhumanation and "End of the Day" to me as it unfolds in the concept.
Well, to give an overview of the whole concept, it's basically about a man's vision to create a utopia, and his vision starts when he's a little kid. Basically, his dream gets hijacked. He learns about these things called the patents of control. And actually, if you have the album in the inside cover, we've listed a number of actual U.S. patents for mind control devices.
Oh, wow.
They're actually patented devices that are out there, and that's basically where the idea started for me. Was, hey, this is crazy. This stuff's out there. What if it was used for this?
Gotcha.
So the kid creates a whole program, which is called the Group Order Device, which we use the acronym GOD. God, you'll hear that all the time. It's not a religious thing. Although there is a lot of theological references in there to use it, because those are great.
And that was almost the name of that album. That album was almost going to be called Group Order Device, God.
Yeah.
I'm glad we decided against that.
So, but to tie that in there, it is hard.
Let me stop. I gotta stop you because we got a long interview ahead of us, and you're gonna blow your wad in the first portion of the interview. So let's go in and listen to "End of Today," and we'll come back and discuss that. All right, this is Martin DeBourge back with you on the Throwback Metal Show. My in-studio guests are Resistance. And in that last music segment at the end there, we heard Ashes of Tomorrow. So now as this concept unfolds, and I did stop you right in the middle of trying to explain it, I guess what I'm trying to get at is, now we're 3 songs into it, and you're building a story. So tell me what Inhumanation is about, why we went to End of Today, and where are we at on Ashes of Tomorrow.
Okay, basically, Inhumanation, our story opens with actually the president in his office looking out through his window over the world, who is our main character, which is actually the guy that created the group order device. Mm-hmm. And, sees a nation that's just screwed up, how screwed up people are, how corrupt everything is, and that's what he wants to change. Mm-hmm. He wants to bring on a utopia. And that song kind of talks about all that. It's an inhuman nation.
Gotcha.
That's where the title comes from.
Sweet.
Then you roll into End of Today, which actually starts kind of explaining what the group order device is and how it works, audio-visual feeds, electromagnetic things to plant mind control within everybody. And it just sits there. It doesn't happen. Everyone just becomes zombies right away.
Sure.
It's planted. It's there. It's subliminal.
Sure.
So that's basically saying at the end of today, things are going to change. And then you have the Ashes of Tomorrow, which at the beginning of that, you'll hear a little sound snippet there which says group order device online, uploading a patent, and it names the patent.
Nice.
That's the whole group order device actually going online and all this starting.
Well, this is very cool. I'm digging it, and it just adds to my previous statement that this is a freaking masterpiece. I mean, really dig it. Let me say, too, that what you're talking about is not that far-fetched, in my opinion. I mean,
it's funny because, we did this album 7 years ago, and to see from just the ideas I had there and just things that have gone on, myself knowing what I wrote, I'm like, whoa.
Yeah. Just so we can cover everything, I want to make sure that we talk about some other resistance-related matters, but this one is my ignorance. Because I'm so turned on by the album, I really dig it. Looking forward to the second one that you guys are currently working on. I'm a little hard-pressed when I go to your guys' Facebook page and kind of do some online research to find the previous albums. I don't know why. I'm sure it's because my research skills suck, but I mean, there was obviously something before Patents of Control. What's the name of it?
Yeah, the actual first album that we did with Robbie is called Lies in Black, and that's released through Lion Music. And so to actually find that, you'd have to go on their website, and they actually have, if you go to lionmusic.com, they'll have a whole bio and talk about the album. You can actually buy it from there still. But that's the first, I guess, true album that we did. Prior to that, we actually had another singer who was actually my brother. He used to sing, my brother Tim, and it was an EP that we put out. We weren't really that happy with it, so we kind of just let it go to the wayside, really.
So if I can understand what happened here, the first album, it doesn't really define resistance for you, which is why you don't really promote it.
I'm not really proud of that one, I don't think.
Gotcha. No, you won't be able to find that because we haven't really let that out.
Yeah.
As resistance, we're putting on our walking shoes there and kind of learning, because we hadn't played together in a long time before that. Even though we've all been in bands together, that was a big pause between our last project that we did as a band, which was actually a progressive metal band, along the lines of Fate's Warning.
And that was in
the band was actually called Anarchy Divine.
That had to be in 94, 95 was actually the last time we all played together.
Yeah. Oh, wow. And that's why you hear all these different musical influences, because we've been in bands that have played all these genres.
Gotcha.
So we honed our skills on all these different.
So Lies in Black also, not necessarily by the wayside, but the reason I was hard pressed to find the previous albums because is it a legality thing? Is it tied up with the?
Oh no, Lies in Black is accessible. You can get it through Lion Music. We sell it at shows.
Oh, okay.
We got cases that album.
We still have we have a lot of copies of that album left still.
Gotcha.
It's the
you can put your monitor on a case of it.
Yeah, it's the very first EP that you won't be able to find unless we let it out, which we won't.
Yeah, that EP was something we did in a bare bones studio. No, we actually did it in the same studio we did Lies in Black, huh? But they were burnt CDs with our own labels we slapped on.
I hate to put you on the spot, Burke, but were you on that album, Lies in Black?
No, I'm new to the game.
New to the game.
Yeah. At least new to the band. Anyways.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you're on board. At least you're going to have 2 albums under your belt here on the.
No, he wasn't on patents either.
What?
This will be my first one. I'm the new guy.
You are the.
I think we've had a different guitar player in every album.
I thought I swore I saw your.
You know what
picture on there. Maybe I'm.
You know how Spinal Tap goes through drummers.
Don't say
We
that.
go through second guitar players, man.
Yeah,
we do.
It's our second guitar player curse, we like to call it.
No, I plan to end that, though. I'm here for the
Yeah,
duration.
he's been here, I think.
Yeah, well, I mean, you shred it. I think I've seen you live, and I think it's amazing. So I'm looking forward to this next one. Did you contribute any of your writing? Am I going to put you on the spot again? Or?
You know what? My thing is, like, the new guy in the band, especially after that movie Rockstar, that kind of taught me a lot.
He's scared.
I'm frightened.
Huh.
Yeah. No, anyways,
You don't look it on stage. You're very confident.
oh, thank you. Basically, what I look at my job is after that movie is you got to let the project go on. You know, I didn't hire them; they hired me. So
I see.
that's
Gotcha.
where I'm at.
Cool. Well, how's he doing? Let's just ask you guys then. How's he doing on the new album? Obviously great, right?
He does some shredding solos on the album.
Yeah.
Nice.
Definitely.
Now, Burke's a master at his craft.
Very cool. All right, so next up, we are going to listen to One Nation Under God. And tell me again the acronym God.
His group order device. That's the actual thing that.
So is this song the introduction of that group order device concept?
This song actually introduces and interjects the Illuminati into the whole storyline.
Okay.
They kind of rear their head here, and it kind of shows that their main character, who's the president now, didn't actually do everything he thinks on his own. Mm-hmm. And his idea, the group order device, his program, has actually been hijacked by the Illuminati.
Sweet.
And they're showing their ideal to use it to create a new world order,
Cool.
basically.
Well, again, that's not very far-fetched. So we're going to listen to that one now, One Nation Under God. All right, Martin DeBourge back with you on the Throwback Metal Show. We were just talking off the air, which I think we're going to have to get on record for a little bit. I know that you dropped the name Kris Cronkite, right?
Yeah, Cronkite.
Cronkite?
Cronkite, yes.
Oh, see, I didn't even know. And now we even said it 3 times, and I'm sure he's wincing the whole time listening like, it's violence, guys. I don't want people to know my real last name. It's violence. But as it turns out, I didn't realize the connection. And Burke, I guess you and Kris go back and...
Yeah, we go back to high school, man. We go back to high school.
Sweet.
Turns out that I was in a band called Reality, and Kris really wanted to be a part of the scene, so that's when he started his project. Started Domestic Violence, and that ended up turning into Cessational Life. So
Nice. Yeah. So it was projects that you and Kris were working on together.
Actually, no, Kris went on his own way, man.
Oh,
I was giving him guitar lessons, and he
wow.
became the awesome vocalist that he is and moved on.
And I wish I could remember the name of it, but it's not right here in front of me. But he just finished working on a project that he released. And kudos to him. I mean, versatile vocalist. I mean, just what I was hearing him do is all over the map.
Yeah, Kris is a good dude.
Yeah.
I want to say it's called American Ripper.
There it is.
Yeah, that's what it's called.
I think you're right. And the guitar player that he worked with, who's named John DeBourge. Actually, he and I are going to be working on a project together.
Yeah, I think John plays bass, right?
Mike, no, I think he did some compositions on that album too. I could be wrong.
Forgive me, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I could be wrong, but he probably did some bass too. Yeah. But no, John's got a Fervent Send project that he's working on, and we're going to actually do a world music metal album. We're going to collect some music from all over the world. But it's not about me. Hey, this isn't about me.
So, it's all about you, dude. It's your show.
So what? No, thank you.
So what worried me is that Kris didn't want Burke to play with him. They sent him to us. So that's what
It's hard to find
Get
work
back into
for
metal,
him.
but not my metal.
Yeah,
Go
we're
find
like-
some metal.
So if he's such a good friend, how come you don't want to play?
Yeah, wow. I could tell there's a lot of jab and love in this band.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot of shit talking.
You don't know that.
A whole lot.
So the last song we heard on that last music break was "Confession of the Black Heart," right? So where are we at in
Was
the
that what you
storyline?
just played?
Yeah, that's
Oh, okay.
what I just
So we
played.
did One Nation and then Confessions.
Well, yes, we started off that music. Wow, are you interviewing me now, or?
I don't know, man. All right, I'll take your word for it, bro.
So what? So where are we at in the storyline
Stepped
with
out for
"Confession
beer.
of the Black Heart"?
Confession of the Black Heart is basically what the title is. You actually start there. You hear the term Black Heart, and the Black Heart is our main character. That's the president. That's the username that he had when he was a kid. So, and throughout all the songs, you'll hear the name Black Heart, and that's what it is. Confessions of the Black Heart kind of is a flashback. You kind of get a backstory to our main character. It talks about he's starting to see, you know, that his program's been hijacked, what's going on. So now he's reflecting if everything that's led up to now is actually worth it. You know, is this something I really want to do? Do I want to push this forward? Mm-hmm. So he's kind of confessing basically to himself, you know. Very cool. And you get the backstory on him, how he, you know, was a bastard child, didn't have a dad. His actually dad raped his mom. And that's where he came from. So he's an angry kid.
Oh wow!
That's why and all he had was his computer. And that's how he found out about the patents of control.
Damn, this story needs more than a CD. I guess you're going to need to write a book about it.
Yeah,
it's a long one.
You got
very complicated.
You got a good story, and it's hard. It's hard to condense it into songs. I mean, I think we actually had like 18 songs for this album.
Yeah,
and we couldn't have 18 damn songs. We had to cut it. So actually, things that kind of explain the story further are in other songs.
Right.
So,
well, I it's impressive. You did your homework, and even if all the ideas about what the story, the details around it, didn't make the cut to the album, it's good that you kind of went back and made sure all those bases were covered.
There was actually a lot of rewriting where we had to take, okay, we can't do this song, so, well, this has to be in here to explain it. So you had to go back to a song, and I had to rewrite, you know, lyrics. And then, you know, as you know, being a lyricist, it's hard. You know, you want shit to rhyme. It's got to make sense. It's got to be put together. So I burned a lot of erasers on this album.
Right. Well, that's cool. We're going to go back to the storyline, but let's cover some other Resistance-related things. As you know, the listeners out there are going to know, if they didn't know already, Resistance was one of the main acts that we had playing on the first Throwback Metal Fest, and extending a heartfelt thank you for you guys being a part of that.
We had a good time, man.
Great
we were talking about that on the ride up here.
Sweet.
About the fest, yeah.
Here's the thing about that fest and getting to know you guys. There, you know, looking back when Paul and I were talking, you know, leading up to it about the ins and outs, about, okay, what time should we be there? Can we bring this? Give me the specs of the stage, etc. You know, just the standard stuff that you talk about when you're putting a show together. One of the things that struck me was, unlike all the other... I don't want to say all the other bands. Unlike a lot of the other bands on the fest, there was a real easygoingness about it that didn't illuminate for me until later, when I found out that you guys actually have a history of putting your own fest together.
Well, actually, that's all Paul's baby there. I mean.
So somebody in this band, Paul, knew what a fucking mess I was in.
Oh my God. Yeah, I felt bad for you. I know exactly what you were going through. Yeah.
What was the name of that fest you had going?
I did the LA's Gates of Metal Festival 1 and 2.
And what years were those?
Oh, geez, that was in 2003 and 2004, I believe.
That's fairly recent. So what lineup did you have?
Let's see,
us, and then us again.
That's what Cantation's doing the same shit.
I'm trying to remember here, but we had, like, you know, we had Leatherwolf, we had Dreams of Damnation, we had... I brought Primal Fear over from Germany to play it.
No way.
That was kind of like... That was one of the first times that I know of that they had actually been brought out here to the States to play.
I think that year they came out to do the Brave Words Bloody Knuckles Festival, and then...
They jumped over from Ohio and came and did our show.
So Primal doing that was the second fest then?
Yeah, that was the second one, yeah.
I would think that's...
The second one, yeah.
That's a huge one to reach for the first fest.
Yeah. It was it was actually it was at the place was called the Ibiza, and it was in Whittier.
Okay,
it was a pretty good setup. Two stages going at one time. Well, not at one time, but switching off. And it was
much like they do at the House of Metal with the two stages.
Exactly.
But
like
these were in two different rooms, so it was cool. So it was,
Wow, and so you did two, and it was just too much work.
Yeah, it was too much work.
Yeah,
you know, it pretty much a year in between it, and it took me a solid 6 months to get everything confirmed and set up.
Yes.
Really just dealing with the bands. You know, that's
I'm getting
the biggest.
Tired listening to you.
That's the hardest part about it. You know.
Yeah. Oh no, man. Oh.
Especially if you have a band who has who's kind of a medium-sized band. You know, they want the world.
They do. Yeah.
So it's kind of hard dealing with that.
Yeah. You know? No, you guys were. It's putting it lightly to say that you were easy to work with. I mean, you guys showed up, you did your thing, but you were supportive, and the support went beyond the fest. I mean, Matt and Paul, you guys are regulars in the chat room at koshermetal.com when we do this show, and just little things here and there. I know that when I had to put some merchandise things together for the Throwback Metal Fest, you know, it was a chore to tell the other bands that I could just give this stuff to you for free, but I'd be paying for it myself. It's out of pocket. And that stuff was never a question with you guys.
It's funny how much bands want shit for free, huh?
But I mean, kudos to you guys. I mean, you guys are true metal guys. I mean, you brought your Trooper beers. You're wearing metal T-shirts, you know. You know. But you know, I think you guys, unlike a lot of other bands, recognize what's involved and how there has to be a camaraderie to get things moving. There was a time, I think, that all of us here remember where that support wasn't there.
Yeah. Well, and it's, I mean, there's different bands among the scene, but it's like, we find ourselves playing with, the same core of bands, people we like, and, it's no mystery. We're not freaking spring chickens ourselves. We've been doing this for years and stuff. So as you go on, you mellow out. You learn what it's all about. You finally come to terms with, what, I'm not going to be a fucking millionaire doing this. I love doing it. When I'm not doing it, I want to do it. So, I think you playing out, and you come to terms with what the music scene's all about and why you're actually doing it.
Right, absolutely. That's very cool. Let's get back on task with the concept. All right, so where are we at in the storyline with Paternal Shift?
Paternal Shift. That title is kind of exactly what it is there too. This is part of the story where the group order device actually starts growing and starts getting a mind of its own. It starts taking over. It kind of starts setting its own course, its own plan of what it wants to do. It has its directive, which is, to create a utopia. And the Blackheart at that time is still grappling with what he wants, if he wants to continue this. So it's kind of, he was the creator of the program, and you have the program, but now the program's learning and it continues to learn. So it's a shift. Now she is the dominant and he's basically below her now. He's not in control anymore. In the chorus you'll hear betrayal on both sides.
Sure.
And actually on that song we have Jim Durkin from Dark Angel does the lead solo on that. He's a good friend of ours. Yeah. Nice. So we brought him down, and the first solo in the song is his. And then we have Luana Valencia, who is the vocalist for Dreams of Damnation at the time. You'll hear the Cookie Monster death metal vocals. That's Luana. And we brought her in because I wanted a voice for the group order device. So she is God, basically.
Nice.
And my vision for the voice of the group order device was something angry and frustrating. So that's where we got that real aggressive sounding voice. And her and Robbie kind of do a duet in that song and play off each other and go back and forth.
Very cool.
But yeah, it's basically a paternal shift. It's the parenting is changing in that song.
Cool. We're going to listen to that now. This is Paternal Shift by Resistance. All right, Martin DeBourge back with you on the Throwback Metal Show. In that last music segment, we just ended actually with Cerebral Screams. Where are we at in the story there, Matt?
All right, Cerebral Screams. You're killing me.
Where are we at, Matt?
Bring us up to speed, Matt.
We're about 3 or 4 beers into it now. That's where we're at. No, Cerebral Screams is that's the point where the group order device actually takes over and puts away the Blackheart into a place that's called the Hollow, which you hear in previous songs mention stuff about the Hollow. The Hollow is actually a comatose state for people that aren't going along with the program. So if you're not going along with the program, you're basically set in this thing, in a comatose state called the Hollow, and that's where you're kept. Kind of like a Matrix type thing, if you want to say. So basically, in that song, the group order device is taking out the Blackheart. So the Blackheart's being put away, killed. That's why I think the first lines of the song is "Good night, Mr. President." So the Blackheart's taken out of the equation, so the group order device can continue on with everything that she wants to do.
Very cool. I'm actually enjoying understanding the whole story and how it unfolds, and it's going to give me a new perspective going back to listen to it, which I'll probably do right after this show, and get a good listen to it again with that new perspective. And we'll continue to talk about the story as it unfolds, as we got a few more songs before we reach the end of the story, which doesn't really sound like it'll be an ending because we're living the rest of the story now. Like I said, it's not that far-fetched. But let's talk about, I mean, if you don't mind, you guys are, well, actually, you're finished up in the studio now, and you're in the mixing stage for the new album. Do we have a title for the new album? No? I put you on the spot.
We've had about 5 titles.
Yeah,
for
that's
the
a
new
debate.
Sure.
The idea is to get it out faster, so there's not this big, lull in between.
Yeah.
We were slow, man. That's what we're talking about.
So hopefully, once this one finally comes out, we'll be able to get another one out on its heels pretty quickly. I'm hoping.
Well, there's a couple cool things behind the album. I'm aware that you guys are in there with, and I'm not even going to attempt to say his last name. Bill, what now?
Matoyer.
Matoyer. That's easier than I read. I'm like, I don't know how to pronounce that. Anyway, Bill's got a history. He's worked with who?
Everybody.
Wow.
Everyone. We could sit here for a long time going through that.
I mean,
Big ones: Slayer, Armored Saint.
we're talking about
Fate's Warning.
Yeah, we were talking about the Wake and the Guardian lineup doing a tour. He did Wake and the Guardian. He did that album.
Nice. And so, wow.
As a matter of fact, he's doing Armored Saint's new album right now.
Yeah, nice. Ground up. I mean, you're recording with him.
Yeah.
But he's also mixing. I mean,
He's doing the whole thing.
did he take on a producer role at all? Little suggestions here and there?
That'd be Dan.
Oh yeah, let's talk shit about the guy who's not here, Dan.
Yeah, no, he did. He did throw in some stuff here and there.
Yeah.
No, Bill's got a great ear, and
Cool.
he does, and he lets us do our thing. But if he has a suggestion, then yeah, he'll let us know. Or if we say, hey, how about this? He'll just start playing stuff. Like
He's a very patient guy.
Yeah, very patient.
Which is not the norm for a lot of engineers.
Yeah, no.
Speaking as an
Very,
engineer,
very easy to work with. Very patient.
that's cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, and it's totally different from this album, because when we recorded Paths of Control, we went into a studio that we'd been using for a while, which was a great studio, Desert Moon, which isn't there anymore. And Patrick was our engineer, great guy, knew everything, and we recorded everything with him. And then we actually, as we were talking off the air, sent that mix to Neil Kernan. That's who did Paths of Control. So this is a different process for us, because everything's in-house and being done by one guy pretty much.
Very cool. Burke, you're enjoying that experience as well?
Yeah, I'm really digging the experience. Being in this band's really cool because there's a lot of thought that goes into the process. And when I say there's a lot of thought, there's a lot of ideas, which is really great because at the end of the day, you got a lot of ideas to choose from, which means you're going to have the best possible product possible to put out there.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I got to think, I mean, to draw attention to you a little bit more, too, I mean, an invitation back to metal, and you get to jump right in with Bill at the helm. That's pretty sweet.
It's been kind of sweet for me. It's like I got to pinch myself sometimes because I'd kind of given the dream up. And these guys have been fucking great to me, man.
Awesome.
Kind of stepped in. Yeah, sure. No, they really have.
Wow.
And,
I'd hate to be in your shoes, man.
it's kind of rough.
Because there is a lot of shit talk.
You ever seen a guy sleep in a bathtub on a tour?
Nope.
Oh, we got stories, dude. Yeah.
It was the safest place at that time.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
You imagine being, where was that? That was Baltimore, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Being in
please tell
Baltimore-
the story. I want to know why the bathtub was the safest
dude,
place.
being in Baltimore, dude, stumbling into the bathroom, dude, all fucking drunk still.
At like 5 in the morning.
Yeah, 5 in the morning, you're taking a piss, dude, and you're in the dark, and you see these 2 white eyes coming from the bathroom.
Wait a second.
And it says, "Don't piss on me, bro."
Scared the shit out of me.
Hey, there's a reason why
And then you piss on them because you're scared, dude. You jump out.
It's collateral damage.
Thank God for the shower curtain, huh?
So
Don't piss on me, bro.
I want to hear Burke's side of the story. Why the bathtub? What happened?
There was vomit all over the room. I had to sleep somewhere, man.
Oh, that's right. That was Robbie, huh?
Yeah, Robbie wasn't feeling too well.
Yeah.
Hey, you guys said his name. I didn't. So
It was Robbie's vomit.
The kid's not a big drinker sometimes, man. He tries to be, but yeah, that was.
Oh, what a story. That's funny. Baltimore. What were you doing in Baltimore?
we were doing a metal festival out there.
Oh, sweet.
Rock Harvest Festival.
Remember who else was on that lineup?
Yeah, Michael Badio was out there.
Oh.
Asking old school band. Raven was out there.
Oh, wow.
Raven. Actually, it was a lot. It was a great festival.
Ghost of War.
Ghost of War. Pros from Baltimore let us use their stuff.
Nice.
Give a shout out to Benzotti.
Yeah, Dave Benzotti.
Thanks for all his help, man. He's been real
Benzotti,
supportive
Benzo.
out there.
Yeah.
Benzo's he's really supported us from out there and helped
Brian
us on with the
McBride.
following. Yeah, Brian McBride too.
Brian McBride, yeah.
Yeah, we met some really good people out there that really have supported us. And
you're dropping some names that I know I'm friends with on Facebook. So
you know what? We got a lot of good connections from there, and a lot of great people out there, and they really appreciated us coming out there and playing, and they've stuck with us, and it's been a year since we've been out there.
They're family, man. They're just
so
straight
it's
family.
Really cool.
So.
We're trying to get back out there as soon as this album's done. We're trying to get back out there. So
nice, sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Sounds amazing. All right, we're gonna get back into playing some more music by you guys, and the next one I have up is Techno Christ. I like the name, but tell me what it's about.
Techno Christ. All right, Techno Christ. That's where the Group Order Vice starts really implementing the agenda of creating this utopia. The name Techno Christ comes because the way the Group Order Vice really starts to implement this is by basically coming off as God. I mean, the best way to get anybody to do anything is to control their faith.
Sure.
So, and that's what the Group Order Vice does. Basically, tries to come at you as the second coming of the Messiah. Not going in the sense of regular preaching, but preaching through all the different types of media. I mean, we have social media now and stuff like that. So it's basically getting people to think that, God's returned. You must do as I say, and I'm not coming to you as, a person or a vision. I'm coming to you through television, through your computers, through your social media. This is how I'm presenting myself to you.
So it's really this God thing manifested.
Yeah.
Sweet. All right, we're going to listen to that one now. Techno Christ by Resistance. All right, Martin DeBourge back with you on the Throwback Metal Show. My in-studio guest is Resistance. They got a head start on me. They've been drinking their Trooper beers, and they're feeling a little buzzed. I'm just now getting started on my martini. So I'm still a good interview. And my subjects might not be so much. We just listened to The Cleansing.
Yes, we did.
What's The Cleansing about?
Kick-ass song.
Tell me about The Cleansing.
Actually, the P-Man sitting here to my left actually wrote the bulk of those lyrics.
Oh, sweet.
He, as I was writing, explained the concept to him, and he actually sat down and took the time and wrote some lyrics that he thought might fit with his take on the whole concept of everything, which was really good because it brought a whole nother depth to the whole thing. So he brought his lyrics to me. Tweaked a little bit, I think, some of the chorus and stuff, added some stuff in the chorus.
Yeah, added a little bit, yeah.
So you want to talk about that, Paul?
Sure.
No? So Techno Christ was the culmination of the God.
Yeah.
And now
basically, the cleansing comes in with, the little snippet at the beginning of Techno Christ, you actually hear the assassination of the president. You don't know if he's dead or not. We talked about Techno Christ. The cleansing basically is where the Group Order Vice finally figures out that there really is no creating this utopia that she's programmed to create. Basically figures out that man is corrupt, humanity is corrupt, you'll never be able to do this. So in order to create this utopia, I need to get rid of the human factor. So she starts cleansing, basically going and
the genocidal thing.
Exactly. Just basically wiping it clean.
Yep.
Taking
It's
everybody
basically
out.
gonna clean the slate. If I get rid of the human factor and maybe leave the machines to rule, we'll have our utopia that I'm programmed to create. So that's what starts happening.
Damn.
Cleansing.
This story just took a turn.
I might have to listen to it again myself.
That's pretty fucking cool. Damn. Okay. Well, I can't wait to get back to the story, but there's a few other things I wanted to touch on. This new album that you guys are putting out that you've yet to title, right? What were some of the working titles, by the way?
Lost for words here. Let's start off with Vlad the Impaler.
Okay.
It kind of speaks for itself. It tells a true story of Vlad.
Oh.
At least what we believe is a true story.
Okay.
So that's basically what this album is based upon. Is a bunch of different themes that are based on reality. But
let's talk about what the true story of Vlad the Impaler is.
Actually, Paul wrote that song when I was actually so burned out from writing lyrics when we started doing this because, like Paul said, we've been playing since we were 15 years old. I've written pretty much all the lyrics. Martin, you finally get to a point where you're like, what the hell am I going to write about now? You lose ideas because you've written about stuff. Yeah, you could probably go back and write about the same stuff, and no one will know that but you've already tackled that subject. You've already done this.
Sure.
Even though the whole vampire thing's been done to death, I wanted to visit the actual real bad Vlad the Impaler. Mm-hmm. So that's what I wrote it about.
Cool.
Yeah.
The twist on the story, at least from my point of view, is after all the songs that Resistance has written before I've been in the band, you want to latch onto something that people are interested in. Mm-hmm. And no one's ever told the true story of Vlad the Impaler. He was a warrior. He was like Genghis Khan. So it really gives you an insight about what he was about.
From a historical point of view, actual stuff that he did or that was said that he did. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of what I went with.
Yeah.
Minus the Dracula aspect.
We talked a little bit about that, and we'll touch up some more on the next interview segment. But we are going to listen to Alpha and Omega next.
It's basically, like we said, the group order device is basically try to present it itself as this, if you want to say God or whatever, as this creator. So that just kind of builds on this falsality that it's using to further its cause, basically. Mm-hmm. And it's pretty much,
So at this point, are the mirrors... the mirrors. I jumped ahead to Mirrors Black. I apologize. But at this point, are the machines completely in control?
It's basically, in this song, it's a battle. It's a battle between man and machine.
Okay.
So you kind of... If you go back, like I said, into some of the other songs, you see that there is in Cerebral Screams, the Black Heart is like, in this comatose state, but it kind of plays back and forth, and is now a martyr with everyone else that's in the hollow, which are all the people that are against it. So they kind of come out of that, and it's kind of a battle going on. And basically, Alpha and Omega is kind of, if you want to compare it to Revelations there, you have, the group order device is kind of showing itself as a so-called quote-unquote Antichrist, and it's basically the end of the world. It's a battle, mm-hmm. and that's where it goes on. And some of the words are taken out of Revelations there.
Sure.
And that's kind of where it came from, and it's kind of to building on that. So, and it's Christian thing or anything like that. For me at the time, I just thought, it's a cool place to go. You can interject this in and people's faith and beliefs to try to portray the story at that point.
Digging the storyline very much. We're going to listen to Alpha and the Omega by Resistance.
Burke, don't. Why do you hate on yourself like that, bro?
I know it's coming.
Oh no, we are on the air right now, so chill.
Are we?
Yeah. Well, no, that last part, no. Oh yeah, please,
dude. I'm totally comfortable in your skin, bro.
Oh God.
Yeah, there you go. All right. Martin DeBourge back with you on the Throwback Metal Show. My in-studio guests are Resistance. This is our last interview segment, so we got to make sure we cover a lot.
Yeah. Martin's like, God, I'm so
done
glad.
With these guys.
I'm so glad that this is the last interview segment.
We are going to listen to the final song on this concept album, which was actually my introduction to Resistance. Real quick, though, let's talk about the guys that aren't here. Dan, you've been dropping his name all night long. He's one of the guys that goes way far back with you.
Yes.
So obviously he was in the loop when you talked about putting the band together.
Yep.
Yeah. All right.
Oh yeah, definitely.
All right. And then your singer, Robert, whatever we call him. The kid.
Yeah.
Is he younger than everybody else?
Hell no.
No?
I think he's the oldest one.
He's actually older.
Yeah, he's actually.
I don't know where that name came from, but he's been the kid as long as I can remember.
Yeah. He acts like he's the youngest one in the band, but he's definitely the oldest one.
But everybody knows he ain't.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So before Burke joined on, was he the newest addition?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Okay. How'd you find him?
Well, when my brother left the band, he got nodes on his vocal cords. Mm-hmm. So he said, you know what, I'm done. I can't do it anymore, so I'm done. So we put it out. We were looking for singers, and you should see the submissions we got for singers.
I can imagine.
Shit.
Yeah.
Anyways, we got a lot. We got a lot.
Do you know you can't sing, dude? Really?
Yeah. And a lot of like death metal singers too.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like where did this come from?
Where did you even think that we'd be interested?
Yeah, exactly. So anyways, he was kind of a friend that I met at the closing of some bar in Glendora where I live, and it was like the last day of that bar there. And I actually, I ran into him and got introduced to him, and he said, yeah, I'd like to come down, and try out for you guys. And so we said, okay, well, come on down. And about a week later, he came down, and he was the guy we went with.
Yeah, with a red hat all backwards, looking like Fred Durst.
When he first walked up, when he walked up the driveway, I was like,
oh, here we go.
Here comes Fred Durst. What the fuck?
But he was obviously the last audition.
He's a great singer. He's got a very unique voice. As
Absolutely, he does. He's versatile.
The dirty, the clean. And he's close. He comes from the same background of music that we all do. And he's a solid guy.
Cool. And he lived around the corner, so.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, very close to my house. Yeah.
What was his history? Who did Robbie sing for before?
Robbie was a big part of the early '80s metal scene with the hair metal bands. He was in a band
before he lost all his hair.
He was in a band called
Little Kid Twisted.
Little Kid Twisted. Yeah.
They put out this really sweet ass album that was fucking like a metal version of Nursery Rhymes. So.
Oh no!
It was a big hit, not.
No.
Anyways, he was coming from that. He was coming from that perspective, but he was still big into the same influences that we were. The Dio, Maiden,
definitely
Priest, that Armored Saint, big time. So he fit right in with us.
Very cool.
Yep. Bet you wish you weren't sick, Robbie, so you could be down here.
Yeah, poor guy. I understand though. The before we go on and talk about the last song on the album, I do want to talk one more point on the new album. Which is kind of hard to translate to radio when you're talking about an artist, but you guys are hitting up Dusan to do the art on this new album. How'd you find him?
You know what? Dusan was actually recommended to me through, what was the name of that festival from last year?
Warriors of Metal.
Warriors of Metal Festival.
Yeah.
The organizer from that festival recommended him. And so I got in contact with him, and the guy was, as you know, he's from Serbia.
Yeah.
The guy's very easy to work with. He's got some just outstanding work.
Killer.
Legit. Sketches it out in pencil
and
first.
just beautiful work.
Amazing.
Yeah. And very, reasonably priced.
Yeah.
And we gave him the concept, and he was quick too. Within 2 weeks, we had the penciled out. A graphic of it, and then
we've actually had the album cover longer than we've had the ideas for the album.
That album cover, our album cover, which we have not released yet, is still it's been done since January. Last year.
Oh,
wow.
Yeah.
So we've had the album cover for a year.
You think you might do that first? Release the front cover artwork before you release anything?
We want to before your guys'. So
you might as well.
So
because I'm about to release our shit.
We're going to have to, because they're going to say, hey, you copied Martin. No, we didn't.
We're like, no, we didn't. We've had this shit for a year, man.
No, social media makes it true. So if I do it before you guys, we won.
Yeah. Everything on the internet is the truth.
Is yours done yet? Have you seen yours
He's
yet?
actually coloring it in right now. I have to actually go do a Western Union transfer to him tomorrow.
He's not. He's still, the PayPal's not working.
No, Serbia's not doing the PayPal thing. I know.
I had to do the same thing with him. And
goddamn Serbians.
I guess it worked for a minute, and then it went back offline.
That guy's talented, man.
He's got some really good stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's going to blow up as soon as, when your guys' CD comes out, ours comes out. People are going to start seeing it. He's going to get a lot of business.
Absolutely,
the guy's really good.
Absolutely. Yeah, he ran through a concept at him, and he came back with it and showed us the sketch, and we're like, holy crap, he could almost release the sketch.
Yeah, no, and even with our album cover, he's people that have seen us and stuff, we deal in themes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Our stuff now is a lot of Templars, which that goes back into Patterns of Control. It kind of carries over with the whole Templar, Mason, Illuminati stuff, and then we took images that I use on like my drum heads for the show and stuff like that, and incorporated it in our album cover. So everything, all the imagery that we use on stage is in this album cover. So it's nice. He really brought it together.
Oh, that means that's right. Seeing you guys live, you pull out all the stops for the imagery. I
guess
got
a lot of imagery, props. You name it, we got it, man.
You guys are going to have to come up with
a few more roadies to help us out. It's a full package. Yeah, anybody want a roadie for us? We need roadies, man. We need people to set this shit up.
The Trooper Veers are the pay. Dude, that's good pay.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
We pay that. Yeah. Come and set it up. We'll pay that.
Takes me long enough to set my drums up, and then I got to freaking set up scrims, and then the backdrop, and
But we've always been like that. We like to bring the big show all the time, every time.
Yeah, if you're going to come see us, we're going to give you your money.
That's why they call it show business. It's not a joke. It's like we really try to bring the whole thing.
Yeah. Well, there is a joke about show business. A guy picking up a bunch of elephant shit at the circus, and somebody walks up to him and, how do you do this day in and day out? Don't you want to quit? And he's like, and quit show business? Anyway.
That's what it's like.
So I imagine everybody can find you everywhere. I mean, obviously, you punch in resistance, although it's a common word. So what's the easiest way to find you? Facebook.com/
Yeah, you can get us through Reverb Nation. It's reverbnation.com/resistance USA.
Okay.
And then
Facebook's Facebook.com/Resistance USA Official.
Resistance USA Official. Yeah.
Well, let's real quick. Let's talk about the end of the story. The song "Mirrors Black."
All right, "Mirrors Black." Okay. Well, basically, at the end of Alpha Omegas is basically where the group order device figures out, all this is not going to work. I got to wipe everything out. So it's basically World War III. It's the end of the planet, end of humanity. Of course, it doesn't wipe out all of humanity, but pretty much wipes out the race in the way we see things now. Mirrors Black is kind of the end all, the culmination of it all. You kind of discover that whatever you believe, whatever your faith is as an almighty creator or whatever, that, everything came from somewhere. Whatever you believe, if you're an atheist, you believe in science, that, the planet was created through science, Big Bang Theory, or if there is an almighty creator that created everything, whatever you believe, Mirrors Black's kind of the culmination of that, and shows that this utopian theory is basically one big experiment that happens all the time. That's what the group order device actually turns out to be. It's the first patent. It's this entity that possesses people, possesses Adolf Hitler, possesses all the Caesars, possesses all the pharaohs, to try to spread what they believe is their philosophy to conquer the world. And it's also about basically learning from your mistakes, learning from history, and that's where the chorus comes from. Mirrors Black. Nothing, only darkness refracts from Mirrors Black. If you have to look at yourself, truly look at yourself, and learn from your mistakes in order to move forward.
Sure, got it. That's actually pretty damn cool. And I'll tell you why, because when you talk to people who are all big into the Illuminati or conspiracy theories or thoughts that have existed before us, etc., and it's a hard sell for me, logically speaking. When you talk about, you're talking about people throughout all time holding a deep secret that they're not passing on to another generation, and supposedly the masses of people haven't caught wind of this deep secret. We only hear little elements of it. But the way you described it is actually more plausible. When you think about it, it's you call it the GOD, but actually when you put it in that context to say that, hey, all these civilizations have tried to do the same thing that the American Empire, and yes, I said empire, is trying to do.
No, and that's what it is. All great empires fall. It's only a matter of time before America, as we know it, is destroyed. No empire lasts forever, and America is an empire.
Sure.
And our time's going to come, unfortunately. Yeah. I mean, no one's more, patriotic than myself or probably anybody else in this band.
Well, let's get the new album out first, and then we'll talk about the stuff. Anyway, it was a pleasure having you guys up here. Appreciate you making the drive all the way to the godforsaken high desert, the GOD forsaken high desert.
Good time, man.
And it was great. All right. You guys saying that you will is right now a commitment.
We'll debut it here.
All right, cool.
Yeah,
sounds great.
If you're still on the air.
Oh.
No, I'm just saying that because we work slow, dude. Who knows when it's going to come out?
I will be, but I could also be fired by then. Who knows? All right, thanks again, guys. We're going to finish out with Mirrors Black by Resistance.
Right on, man. Thanks.